Rondo, I finna slam dunk. Get big on you fake pumps. That pump ain't no fake pump. Bitch fell for the pump fake. Got him talking like first take. Get it right on the first take. Hit the hole in the first.
Mic check, mic check. Another episode of Sit Down with Slim. We got one of the best boxers to come out of Augusta. My dog, Team Bunch. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I can't complain at all. How about yourself, brother?
I'm all right, dog. I ain't gonna lie. This podcast came on time because I'm trying to get back in shape, and I said this will be the perfect one. You'll be the perfect person to talk to that about.
Solid. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Bruh, this is like day 2 for me, dog, and I ain't gonna lie, I've been struggling, boy.
Hey.
I done put on so much weight in the midsection.
Hey, but see, you started off right, though. You started on Monday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, so that's good. You know,
How's your workout plan?
Well, like, it differs, like, between when I'm getting ready to fight, it's, like, a little bit more rigorous versus when I'm, like, you know, not necessarily getting ready for a fight, but staying in shape. But, like, right now, like, the ball's starting to roll, so, like, yesterday I ran 5 miles. Yesterday trained. Today I didn't run, but like trained also, and which is another 5 miles first thing in the morning. So it's like, you know,
5 miles, something light for you too, ain't it?
Not necessarily light because it's a lot of hills. You know what I'm saying? So no, it actually is hard. You know, usually like throughout the week I'll change it up. You know what I mean? 5, then like 3, and then like sprints. You know what I mean? Because you don't really want to continue doing the same exact thing. Your body get used to it. As well as in boxing, you're not running in boxing. You know what I mean? Really, the run is to like cut down the weight as well as be able to have that raise your heart rate. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. At different peaks and still be able to breathe at the same pace and continue fighting.
Yeah. So basically, it's a science to it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Bro, how'd you get into boxing? Like, what made you want to be a boxer starting out?
My father, he started me off in Taekwondo from the jump, from when I was little, because he was a 3rd-degree black belt. Like, that was his thing. And so, I liked it. Being like my father and everything, made it a black belt. However, like, when it was time for competitions, I was doing good, especially when I was younger. I was always winning, and I was a sore loser. In which once I started getting older, they didn't want you to punch as much. They wanted you to kick more. Mm-hmm. And I would win because I was punching a lot. And so, like, they started disqualifying me. And after that, I was like, I begged my mom to, like, get my dad to let me quit. And, I grew up like any other kid, trying every sport. I played football for a couple years.
Was you good at football?
Huh?
Was you good at football?
Yeah, I was actually all right. I just didn't grow. I was like 80 pounds. So, once I got in middle school, that's what completely discouraged me. Like, I was like, oh, this ain't for me no more. Like, because I played fullback. Like, I was actually good. But, I never grew. I didn't grow as far as during then. And then, 7th grade, one of my best friends, he was, like, coming back, school on Mondays with, like, black eyes, busted lips, but, like, trophies. And, like, I was like, what you doing? And he was telling me boxing. And, like, from there, I've been boxing ever since.
Was you getting into a lot of fights when you was young, though?
Not a lot of fights. Like, it was sometimes where folks tried to bully me because I was a lot smaller than others. But, I always was, like, a real aggressive, you know what I mean, where I was initiating a lot of stuff. So I didn't. When I did get in the fights, I would say like I had big brothers, so like they eventually made me fight my own battles. You know what I mean? And
that's how I was with my little brothers.
Yeah. And after that, like, you know how it goes. Like, once you make an example, you don't really have to. You don't have to so much no more. Mm-hmm. And like it was like in middle school, I had to fight. Too many people didn't mess with me afterwards. High school, same thing. Really, I was just focused on boxing, so I was always gone. I was traveling.
So, when was the point when you started taking it serious?
I started taking it serious, like when my coach left for Iraq. After I would say like when the war was starting back and everything, and they were sending a lot of the troops over. Mm-hmm. My coach had to leave. And, like, during that time, like, that's when I was, like, I was already fighting a lot. Like, I had about 60, 70 amateur fights, you know what I mean, from little. However, because, like, when he was raising us, you know what I mean. My first fight was at 80 pounds. You know what I mean, like 12 years old. So you know, he had us fighting every weekend. You know, I was always in a different state, different city, fighting somewhere. So that's how I got my numbers up. And so like when he left, you know, so I had to really make a decision. Where for 1 year I wanted to continue to be loyal to him and, you know, have him, you know, still be my coach. But I really love boxing, so I wanted to continue to box. And so that's when I really had to start making decisions for myself. And yeah, like I made it to the National Golden Gloves while he was in Iraq, if I'm not mistaken. Well, he had just got back because I was back in 2008. But like I was starting to like figure out who I was and find myself in the sport.
Did you ever fight at the Augusta Boxing Club?
With trainer, yeah. I actually was working out there today.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. They never, and that's one thing where I love about Augusta Boxing Club, where I've always been that boxer where you can catch me at a couple different gyms. Because like I feel like we a whole city, so I don't look at I'm from this gym, only this gym. Where like I said, when my coach went to Iraq, unfortunately, like time didn't take us in as far as when it was like when we tried to come train at Augusta Boxing Club when he left. But when Rayante Whitfield took over the gym, he it was open arms, you know what I mean? And especially like when I had like differences with my home coach, he allowed me to come there, you know what I mean, with open door. So like yeah, Augusta Boxing Club is always home, home to me as well.
Yeah. So when did you go pro?
January 30th, 2016.
How was that feeling?
My first fight, man. It was crazy. A whole lot of emotions. Man, that was a dream come true. You know what I mean? Like it was something I worked so hard for. I was mad because like it ended so fast. Like it was the first round knockout. I think I got him out of there like in a minute, and like he didn't like. It was off a jab, so I mean I knew I hit him hard, but I felt like, yo, man, you could have got up. And so, you know what I'm saying?
You was excited, ain't
you? Right. You know, I've been working so hard for this, so I'm like, yo, I'm ready to fight. Like, let's do this. And yeah, I mean, it was good though. It was a good experience. And really, it just more motivation to continue to get to where I'm at right now and go further.
You said that was 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so what's your record now?
10-0. 10-0.
10-0.
Yeah, 10-0, 5 knockouts.
All right, so you haven't taken a loss professionally yet.
Correct.
Deontay Wilder just took his first loss. How do you feel about losses? Do you feel like everybody got to be like Floyd Mayweather and be undefeated?
Nah, I mean that's unrealistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where Floyd just, he was blessed with a phenomenal talent. He really knows how to swim and not get wet. He really knows how to he was a very good ring general. He had a very good ring generalship, as well as a very good he's a very good businessman when it came to boxing. So I honestly feel like his era is over as far as the undefeated Floyd Mayweather era where everybody else got to be undefeated and be world champions in so many different divisions. It's great that he was able to do that, but it's not, what I'm saying, I feel like that was unrealistic.
Yeah.
You got a lot of champions that's now proving that wrong, you know what I'm saying, as far as taking a loss and coming back and becoming a unified world champion, So, yeah, that's how I look at it, really. Like, it happens, really just how you come back from it.
Me and my dog, Maine, we did a podcast with Jip. He actually mentioned your name, too.
Yeah.
But he was talking about when he took his loss, and he was kind of upset about how the city reacted to it. And me personally, like, I remember when he lost, and I think I was in, like, Limelight or something.
Yeah.
And everybody was, like, cheering when he lost. And I was thinking, like, bro, it's just a loss. Yeah, it's not that serious. You're supposed to be rooting for this man. He on TV.
Exactly. That's little bro right there, you know what I mean? Like, we go back. We definitely go back. It's funny because I always looked at him, naturally, as far as how old I am versus how old he is, I'm the older one. So, of course, that's in effect. But when it came to boxing, professional boxing, it was as if he was the bigger bro because he taught me a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, where even when you ever have differences or when you always good, that's something you can never take away from that person. Just like with my original coach, those things I can never take away. And it was bro really showed me a lot of doors where he gave me a lot of opportunities that a lot of people didn't give me, and which when I outside of Georgia, that really taught me the game. You feel me? And well, with that, man, you're never gonna make everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
You're never gonna make everybody happy. For one, man, people gotta understand that, like, Justin is still, a kid from Augusta, Georgia, that's
Young
20-some
too.
years old, that went to Butler High School, that just so happenly went to Augusta Boxing Club and could fight. And then started, man, I remember this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when, like, I had been doing this, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think he was, like, 85 pounds. And, like I told you, my first fight was, like, at 85 pounds. So, like, when he started fighting, I'm, like, at 119. I'm a little older now. And where he just shoots straight up to national golden gloves. That's not an easy tournament to win.
Yeah.
You feel me? You got to fight, like, 3-4 times in just your state, win. You know what I mean? Then go to the region, fight 3-4 times, win. Then go to the nationals, fight, and then you fighting the best people in the country. You know what I'm saying? And fight 3 or 4 times.
I'm glad
win.
you spoke about that because a lot of people don't know how difficult that is.
Yes, you feel me? Like, I remember when I'm like, yo, who the hell is this kid Justin DeLoach? You feel me? Like, who is this? You know what I mean? I didn't know. You know, I'm from Hepzibah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he was from Hepzibah too, but he was training in the Augusta Boxing Club. That's on a whole different side of town. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, not a lot of kids do that. For one. For two, from Augusta. You feel me? So, like, off rip, he was doing stuff that a lot of kids weren't able to do. You know what I mean? Where, you couldn't do nothing but salute him. Then on top of that, as he was growing up, I remember in the amateur ranks, bro was like doing great. He was doing his thing. He didn't go to a whole lot of national tournaments, but when he did, you heard about Justin DeLoach. You feel me? Like, that's completely true. Nothing but true. You never can take that away from him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which that's why I feel like was everybody cards are dealt differently, and that's why he got, like, from the beginning, he got that deck. He was blessed with that deck, but people don't understand that he still had what I would say other interests, music, things like that.
Yeah.
You can't knock that
I
man
think that's
for
why
that.
so many people in the city hate on him because of that.
Right. Everybody wants you to be this guy, or be this, or be that. You know what I'm saying? You can't make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
That's just how that goes. So.
That podcast we did, though, I didn't know that he actually got found by Al Heyman. I didn't know that.
Yeah, straight out of high school.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody cards are dealt different, but you can understand why. You feel me? Like, it wasn't like it was like this guy wasn't training or he wasn't doing nothing in the amateurs that was mediocre. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, it wasn't. So then, when you got that, when he got that opportunity, honestly, it was like, that sounded about right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let's see what he gonna do. And you saw he been doing his thing. He been doing phenomenal. Like,
I think he got a fight coming up too.
Yeah, March 14th on FS1. I'm looking forward. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning in.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that's my dog. We always talk. He know how I am. I'm strict. I'm a boxing head. I don't do nothing. I don't go out. If it ain't boxing, I don't
You just
know.
like him, then you don't drink. None of that.
None of that, man. That's not me. I just kids. It's funny because he got 2 boys. I got 2 girls. You feel me? So
yeah,
we got that. That's definitely something big that we are able to relate on inside the ring as well as outside. So
you sign anybody right now?
Yeah. I'm signed to Latavia Robeson Management, and Roy Jones Jr. Latavia from Destiny's Child. That group, she originally, was singing with them, and then she went to the R&B Divas show, and now she's gonna. I signed with her last year actually, and she become a boxing manager. I've been undefeated with her, of course, and we've been doing our thing.
Yeah, you got a good team behind you, dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
How'd you link up with Roy Jones?
Roy, man, oh man, when I say God, bro, like it was big. I tell you, man, like. It was during the time, man, where I was 8-0, and me and my like I had my original coach, but we really wasn't like you know what I'm saying. Like I said from the beginning, even the amateurs, we were off and on. You know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Even despite the Iraq tour. So at that time I didn't have a manager. I had a manager, but me and him separated like when I was 4-0, and it wasn't on any bad things. It's just like I said, I'm big on my parents raised me to be independent and make decisions upon myself. So I felt like watching what he was doing, I felt like I was intelligent enough to be able to do that with my own career. Because my career, my boxing is almost equivalent as my babies. You feel me? Almost. So basically, something told me I saw one of our fighters, one of my old teammates, Patrick Riley. I seen him. He was actually getting ready to fight Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson, is a bad boy. He's a world champion right now, and he was also like a silver medalist Olympian. In which one thing that me and him relate in is we both tall and skinny and long. However, he fights at a lower weight class than me, like 126. In which when I saw this,
where you at right now?
130,
Okay.
135.
Okay.
So yeah, when I saw this, I'm like, man, I'm already looking at like I don't know what I'm gonna do next, but I need to stay boxing. Like I don't know how to function without boxing, So like, when I saw that, I was like, well, I know Pat don't have anybody around him that's just like Shakur that to spar. Now I'm not a southpaw, but I was like, I'm in shape, and I can get on YouTube. I can watch some videos. I can shadow box a little bit, and which southpaw is just switching. Fighting left-handed versus right-handed.
Mm-hmm.
However, when you're in shape, man, your mental capability can really do anything you tell it to do. Honestly.
Yeah, I thought about that today.
Yeah, when you're not in shape, you know what I'm saying, you're thinking about being tired. So, you really can't function like you want to. So, I mean, basically that's what it was. That's as far as what I decided to do. I was like, all right, well, cause we trained together before. So I called our coach, Coach Deshaun. I was like, yo, Coach, I know Pat getting ready to fight. Who y'all got sparring? And I was like, I know y'all ain't got too many people. Like, only people like that around here is me. He was like, yeah, you're right. Come down. You can, give you a place to stay. We'll make sure you're straight. Solid. Boom. Let's do it. And so, I made it down there one weekend, and we sparred the first day. They had actually flew Jesse Reed. That's probably in the future Hall of Fame coach. He trained Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, a lot of old school fighters from New York. He's from New York, in which he brought down this one fighter named James Wilkins, Crunch Time, in which is he's straight from New York. Gully kid. That been through the slums. So he's actually like, this is all he had. This is all he got. You know what I mean? So when they brought him down, they basically had a set where it was me and him to spar Pat. You know what I mean? Pat was getting ready to do like an 8-round fight, so he prepared it's like it's a 10-round fight, 5-5, in which I first get in there, first 5 rounds. I'm doing good, southpaw. He really couldn't touch me because of how long I am, and I was actually aware enough every time he came in to keep him off me. In which Crunch Time wasn't the opposite. He didn't even switch southpaw. He just came in banging, in which it was to the point where I really gave Patrick, my dog, like, or I would say, like, a different type of work versus the work that the work that Crunch gave him.
Yeah.
In which, at that point, Coach Deshaun was like, all right, that's not really what we was looking for right now. You know what I mean? Y'all just work. We're going to take Pat out. You and Fernando just work. And, me and Crunch Time, we went at each other head. You know what I mean? They made us go, like, right after we did rounds with Pat, we went at each other head for maybe 6 rounds straight. And which it was tit for tat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting some, he getting some. And so then, boom, we go the next day. And then once we get ready, the next day, they was like, y'all come back. We want to see y'all spar again. Solid. And which at this point, this is when I'm learning that Crunch Time is already one of Roy Jones' fighters. You know what I mean? In which he's just right now with Jesse Reed, but he's on the way back to Roy's right now in Florida. So the next day come, and we go at each other head again. If I'm not mistaken, Pat didn't come to spar that day. So, there was like, well, you from Augusta, he's all the way from New York. We didn't bring y'all here for nothing. So we went at it again, and it was the same way. You know what I mean? Fireworks. In which, at that point, we gained each other respect. You know what I mean? Where he like, man, yo, when I'm at Roy's, I don't really have nobody my weight to spar on, which I do. They really ain't on my level. Where I feel like I can learn a lot from you. Vice versa. I'm going to talk to Roy. I want you to come down. And I'm like, yo, like, I'm taking that seriously. Like, for real, let's make that happen. And make a long story short, it was like that's basically where the road started, started building. You know what I mean? Where afterwards, I had a daughter. My daughter was on her mom was pregnant. You know what I mean? She was on the way. So it was like he hit me up and was like, "Yo, come down." It was like the first week of May, and I'm like, "Bet." Car packed up. I was working half a day at work, and I was gonna get on the road. Boom, had the address and everything. And before I even made the lunch, her mom called me. Yo, it's time. She's coming. I'm on the way to the hospital right now. And I'm like, oh snap. You know what I mean? So like I go to the hospital. I FaceTime Roy and Crunch, and I'm like, yo, I'm at the hospital right now. My daughter's coming. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm definitely coming. But I ain't gonna be able to come right now. You know what I mean? And my daughter was born that day, May 7th. And right after that, I had maternity leave, so I spent the whole month with my newborn, and then literally a month later, I made the trip down there, and man, it was awesome, man. Like, it was awesome. I learned so much because as soon as I got there, this is a 5-time world champion, and I'm coming to his house, typing in the code. Like, seeing his whole estate is like, wow, man. Like, he got this from boxing. Like, this man never had a job. You know what I mean? Like, all he got it from is his hands.
Inspirational.
But man, it's crazy. And then when you get to the gym, he working with everybody, and it ain't like on no like superstardom type stuff. Like, nah, we working. You know what I mean? Like is that's basically how I started. That's how it started. And from there, Roy put me to test. He put me to the test with sparring one of his guys, and I did good. And he told me, I told him after, when it was time for me to leave, because I stayed there for about a week, living in the gym, chasing chickens, everything.
Yeah, I seen you on IG, I think.
Yeah, man, yep, chasing chickens, doing all that, man. Waking up the chickens, all of that, like. Man, if you look at my car and look on top of my hood, you'll see like the little pecks, like they didn't peck my paint. Like,
yeah.
Man, after that, I was like, you know what, man, I got to find something else to do. But yeah, I told him, like, yo, right now I really ain't got no coach. I don't have no manager. I'm 8-0. I mean, I can fight. What should I do? And Roy told me straight up, give me 6 months. Like, don't take no more fights, and just keep coming down here. And he was like, get my number, and we set it up. And from there on, that's what happened. And he kept his word, man. 6 months later was when Pacquiao and Broner was getting ready to fight.
Yeah.
Remember that weekend?
Uh-huh.
Roy was there, right? I was at his house. He called me while he was there, and had me on 3-way, and we set it up. Got me a contract right there and then.
Yeah, I think you made the announcement on Facebook. You posted a picture and everybody was happy as hell.
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. It was big for me. It was really big. So I enjoyed it, but it was a lot of just motivation. I knew that expectations was high, so it really just made me like grind harder. Grind a lot harder.
Bro, what kept you motivated up to that point though? Because I know it's been times you probably wanted to quit boxing because of life things.
Man, like. The will to win, bro. The will to win. One thing with boxing, everybody get their chance. I've learned that. I don't. Man, you could be the sorriest fighter. Everybody gets their chance. It's just that who's the ones that stay down, who prevail. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot. I got a lot of friends. You know what I mean? That are not at the best at the top of the totem pole. However, they had the opportunities to fight there, and they fell short. But they right now climbing back up, you know what I mean? And which it'll be times where like prime example, everybody, like a lot of people, like basically try to write Justin off. You feel me? And which I love the analogy he made. I don't know if it was your podcast or one where he was like, it's like a bad season. You know what I mean? Now watch me this next season. Like, I never heard nobody speak of that.
Yeah, that's main podcast. I was on there though.
Yeah, okay, bet. Yeah. So I never heard anybody make an analogy like that to boxing. However, when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that makes so much sense. You know what I'm saying? It makes a lot of sense. And where it's just like a lot of people ask me like, man, You think it's done, right? You think he over with. Like, what, man? Bruh still got, like, what, bruh's 25. He still got a whole career to start, you know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
he just turned 25
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
He just had a birthday.
You got some people that started their career at 26 and became a world champion. Sergio Martinez. You feel me? Like, just so if anybody be like, who? You know what I mean? Like, you got, and I may not be exact, but yes, he started old. You know what I mean? Like, you can't write anybody off like that. Whereas, like, just like also, Jip hasn't gone through a lot of wars. So it's not like he old 25. You feel me? So it's like, man, that's when you just got people that don't know very much about boxing, and where I just never been the person to put my opinion out too much because I don't like people to voice their opinion upon my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep it to myself.
I know that you real quiet on social media too.
Yeah, man, and that's why you want people to take you serious, right?
Yeah.
So when you are like portraying a different image on social media, and then when it's time to be serious, you can't expect people to take you serious. For one, for two, when you doing like stuff beyond under your age on social media, you can't be surprised if you got people feeling comfortable enough to try you on that level. You can't. You feel me? Where then at that point it's like, you know, you can say something to somebody maybe once or twice, and then it's like, that's your business. I'm gonna let you handle that. You know what I mean? If anything, I just be the show the example, and which that's how I am, man. Like I'm a fighter. I am a fighter. Like I try to be the best role model I am. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can be. I don't feel like I'm got like demons in me or nothing like that.
Yeah.
However, you can't have expectations for me to respond a certain type of way if you come at me a certain type of way, right? So to just band-aid all of that and keep it away, you know what I'm saying? I just try to, you know, I use social media as what it's for, a tool. The only time you really see me on social media is fight time, boxing time.
Marketing.
Exactly. I don't even like showing my babies off too much anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and because I have my reasons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even relationships, I got in trouble for that, but it's like still that doesn't change. I don't like showing that type of stuff on social media.
Some things you just want to keep private, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, man.
I feel you, and I'm the same way.
It's so much in this world right now, man. You can't feel too comfortable, man. You can't give everybody everything. So, yeah, man, that's how it is.
So, do you get on social media every day?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do, honestly. Like, I'm on there, man. I use most of the stuff I follow is boxing. So, I watch a lot of boxing stuff. The funny videos, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the group chats, I'm usually the one that be at work, they ain't got nothing to do. So I'm forwarding the little funny videos. Me and my pops do that. So yeah, I be on there. Like, I just don't politic on it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the voice, even like if I feel some type of way. Nah. And also, I'm big on I had arguments actually, like with some family members and I had to understand their point of view too. I don't like wishing happy birthdays and like doing things like that on social media. I'd rather do it to you directly.
I think it's weird too, dog.
Yes.
Like those birthday shout outs. Yeah.
I don't like that, man. Because it's like, man, especially like when it's people that you would expect more from, not even like a present, but like if they're like a significant other, besides like a significant other, but like a mother, a father, like somebody that's close to you, I gotta be like, man, call me. Everybody can hit me up on social media. You actually have my number.
Yeah.
Everybody don't have my number, you know what I mean? And which I had to kind of explain that, but then they had to explain to me too that, we have a lot of family everywhere. And, sometimes, we be responding everywhere. And before just hopping on that, we got this. And we're just like, okay, I see what you're saying. But you still can call me though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's just how I am. And I'm the same way where I see all these posts. Happy birthday, I will not. Like, some people feel some type of way, I guess, outside looking in. Like, man, Fernando didn't even he didn't even comment on it. I know I didn't. You know what I'm saying? But I bet you I was the very first person, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do my things my way.
Yeah. A lot of people take that social media stuff serious. But I only asked you about the social media thing because I went to your crib the other day, and I noticed you had a library you're starting at your crib.
Yes, sir.
And
yes,
I was
sir.
like, I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people that read a lot of books, they don't too much mess around with social media like that.
Nah. And I'll be on it. I can't act like
Yeah.
because I mean, if anything, you have like a ex would be like, what? Fernando was always on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just like, no, it doesn't run me. You know what I mean? Like I saw one post saying where it was like, the only people that like live, the only people that say that they gotta like take breaks off of social media and fall back are the ones that like really live it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they be like, I'm just here for the laughs. And where it's like, that's really where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm the same way.
if it ain't on business, man, I be on there laughing. Like, it be funny videos.
But think about it. Those people that do get consumed in social media like that, their life is terrible and scary. Like, it's some people out there that think, like, the coronavirus is seriously about to kill them. I just shared somebody post, and I asked them to make it public. And it was a girl. She said something like, I'm calling it now. This coronavirus is the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, man.
That's real life for some people.
And that's the thing. And that's one of the things why I got so many of the books that I got is because I don't even like to have conversations about things that I'm ignorant on. In which some people take the word ignorant as a disrespectful word. It's really not. It's just sometimes you just don't know. Maybe you should know and you just don't know. You know what I mean? In which that's one of those things where if I don't know much about it, I don't like people telling me about it. Like I don't like that. I don't like to have to learn something from hearsay. So that's why I go get the book. And then, you know what I'm saying? Then I read it so I can develop my own opinion. And so then when I have somebody that have an educated opinion about something, you know what I'm saying? Like I do it all the time where I be like, yo, you know what? Let's talk about this at a different time. Let me tighten up real quick.
Yeah. And
then I come back to him. Let's build. Let's build real quick.
Bro, that's the beauty of being educated.
What?
I was just talking to one of my homies before you came to do the podcast. He was talking to me about the social construct of black and white. And I was telling him, I was like, you know, the crazy thing about it is people have this thing in their head of what being black is. Mm-hmm. And what they think being black is, I think is just horrible. And they don't even understand that's a social construct.
What, man? And it's crazy because everybody has their opinions. Everybody has their...
I think we were talking the other night about the black community. And I was just like, nah, that ain't it. That's not what the black community is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the reason why is because there's so many different perspectives. Mm-hmm. There's so many different eyes. We got two. You know what I mean? And then there's two on each person. So, I mean, it's like, you know, oh, man. Then on top of that, when you have the black community, but then you have, which is still within the same community, but the black mixed community, you feel me? That's multicultures.
Yeah.
It's a complicated thing, you know what I mean? In which I really just try my best to educate myself most on things, you know what I mean? Because I know I'm not perfect. I know I don't have the best opinion, so I can't say like, oh, this is what it is. This is right. Boom.
Yeah.
But, man, I know that's definitely, it's something I have actually like had to personally experience, you feel me? So I feel like that may be something that I've been, working on next. Like that may be like my next book, you know what I mean? Like how to deal with multiculturalism in a black community is something I know is a book out there. Cause that's how I find mine, honestly. Like I have a question and I just Google it. And then after I Google it, I just look at the reviews. You know what I mean? Unless something like reading one book kind of inspired me to go look at these others, you know what I'm saying? Cause other books done that a lot too. So yeah.
What's the last book you read?
Well, the last book I finished, cause I'm currently really reading the Iliad, little Greek mythology, you know, like, cause man, you know, I always like Greek mythology. I always been big on it. But I ain't pay attention in school. As far as like, man, I passed the class, but the book I really didn't pay attention. So like, I went ahead and bought that and I'm reading that right now. However, the book I just finished, I want to say it's either I'm the worst on authors, but I got the titles down pat. It's either Mind Gym, which is like a self mental excellence book, inner excellence. You know what I mean? Mental strength, really, and which is a solid book. I really suggest any boxer. I posted on my page. Any boxer that's serious about their career, I would say they should take a look at Mind Gym. It don't have nothing to do with boxing. But the mental is everything about boxing. So it definitely helps. However, I think the one before then, man, I don't stop reading, bro. So it's like I think The Alchemist.
You shouldn't either.
Nah, exactly. Like I think I finished The Alchemist, but I think that was like 3 books ago. And like after The Alchemist, it was like Down These Mean Streets.
I read that a while ago.
Yeah. See, it's a good book. It's short,
Yeah.
but it's solid.
Uh-huh.
The Alchemist, Down These Mean Streets. Oh man,
See, bro, it's
the Rakim joint.
Oh yeah.
Rakim
Yeah.
joint.
I haven't read that one, but I had
It's-
planned on it.
It's kind of short, but yeah, it's good. It's actually real good. And then like I've been for the past couple of years, I've been interested in. I've been like it's just been having my eye like as far as like in Nation of Islam. You know what I mean? Fruit of Islam. 5%ers. Like I really been like learning about that. Really been looking into it. And like before I even talk about it or speak on it, I read. And so like I got a couple of books on them. You know what I mean? And that was really one of the reasons where I always like Rakim, but that was one of the reasons why I even got him on my iTunes now, because he got albums that's like strictly nothing but about 5%ers, stuff like that. So.
I think a lot of people don't understand the importance of reading and staying educated, because whenever your mind is sharp, everything else follows.
Solid.
A lot of people don't know that.
What, man, it's crazy. And then what's so good about it is that especially people that have kids, these kids, they gotta go to school. And like, man, like right now, my daughter's like in 8th grade. I mean, not in 8th grade. She's 8 years old. In the 2nd grade, where like they straight up reading. You know what I mean? Where like you know what I'm saying. For the past couple of holidays, I'm buying Amelia Bedelia, Judy B. Jones. You feel me? Like the series, in cases. You feel me? Like I'm that daddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, and my baby girl running through them. She's running through them, and her words per minute is like always improving. And which it's not like I have to portray an image in front of her. Neither do her mom. As far as like if we read. You feel me? Like she see the books. Like if you was looking, you see she got her little stack right there.
Yeah.
Daddy just got to get the bookshelf. You know what I mean? But she got her Judy B. Jones down there too. You know what I mean? Like that's just something, man. I'm proud of, and which is an ongoing mission until she's graduated out of high school and into college. So it's like I'm just on that mission.
Like Obama said, we gotta take care of them kids.
What? Man, I'm telling you, you got to, man, because I'm starting to see, like, now that I'm a little bit older, I'm starting to see what these younger kids are becoming. And then also looking at the women, you know what I'm saying? You look at how their parents are versus what they were raised in and what you was raised in. Man, I just be like, you know what, like, I don't want mine to be in that section. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so.
It's actually a direct reflection of who people are. And the conversation I was talking about earlier, I had right before you came here. That's what we were talking about with the black and white social construct. We was talking about the people that we grew up with, how we all lived in the same exact environment, but for some reason, some people feel like they just had it so much worse, and they actually had it better.
Yeah, and it's so true. But you know what's so funny is I think like experience proved you wrong. Like Pete, like man, it's so funny with my daughter, my first daughter's mom, like we met in college. We met at Augusta State when it was ASU. Yeah. And so we clicked automatically. We're cool and everything. However, I used to always like just mess with her, talk trash because she was from Statesboro. So I was like, oh, you're a country bumpkin.
Yeah, country.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, country bumpkin.
I went
like,
to school out of that.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, yeah, you came over here. Like, this is the most you ever see. And like for years, I used to always mess with her about that. Like for years, in which I couldn't stand being out there or nothing. However, man, now that my daughter, now this is over 10 years later, I have an 8-year-old there. Like that's one of the most grateful things. Like that's one of the most things I'm most grateful for is for being out there. You know what I mean? Because yes, she's surrounded by her family. Like yes, they live in like a circle. You know what I mean? In which her mom has tremendous support, in which like my daughter has a lot of street sense. You feel me? Like she got a lot of she learns a lot of, and what I call street sense is like she just have like a lot of common sense as far as things that you won't learn in school. You feel me? Like my baby know how to fry eggs. She know how to scramble eggs. You know, she know the difference between we need this. We need to save this amount of money so I can get this goal. Like she follows her mother. Like everything her mother does, she wants to do. So it's like it's awesome. Where like in the city, you got so many different things that can kind of distract you from having those things. Like, you know what I'm saying? When my baby girl come home, bro, she bring a needle and yarn, bro. Like they straight up crochet. You feel me? Like and like now her mom has a straight up business. You know what I mean? Where like her logo gonna be on my next uniform. You know, like it's solid. It's an LLC. Like it makes me proud. You know what I mean? And so then, you know, you be like, man, with my daughter being out there, she's learning so much more. She's interested, like stuff have, you know what I'm saying? Like different things have her mind versus a lot of things that you have in the city. So
yeah, because out here we kind of, like you said, get distracted by stuff that don't matter and, you know, focus on stuff that we really shouldn't get the time to.
Easily, very easily, man.
But out there, I think she'll develop like a lot of family values too.
Exactly. Like when she FaceTimed me yesterday, Daddy, guess what I'm doing? And she, babysitting her cousin. You know what I'm saying? And which cousin like he was born preemie, so he stayed in the hospital for a couple of months. So he just coming home. So of course the family's happy, and was like, you know, that's one of the things she like looking forward to doing. Like that's all she wanted me to see, and which, you know, it was cool because she has 2 little sisters now as well. She's a big helper all the way around, you know what I mean? So I love it. I love it as far as like what she's growing into, and I know it's as far as because of the environment she got, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Do you think things would be different if she grew up out here?
It's funny because she asked me, she was like, Daddy, you know, I want to go to school with you. I want to stay with you, in which, I don't think it would be different because it would be the same type parenting and rearing that me and her mom does. But like, as far as like our schedule, like I travel a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I leave town for weeks and weeks at a time. You know what I mean? Especially when it's time for fight time, I'm not really able to like, you know what I'm saying, get my babies like I want to. So like that's something that kind of handicaps me to be able to do that. But her support system is so tremendous out there. I don't know if I would be able to reciprocate that because of my mom, and like I only really got my mom as far as that can be able to be that support on a day-to-day basis. So
that's the perfect place for her.
Right. And that's why I said like I used to talk trash back in the day, but now, man, I'd be like, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But bruh, I want to talk about too. You told me the other day that you eat a pack of candy before every fight.
Yeah, man.
Where'd that come from,
That's
dog?
my ritual. Oh man, like I think the fight that did it, the fight that like, cause I'm always been a candy man. Like anybody that will tell you, especially people in high school, they'll tell you like literally like I was the candy man. I sold candy from like 10th grade to graduation. However, man, I always just love gummies. That's just been my thing. But one time I fought in Atlanta. At Hard Knocks Gym. And Mike Tyson was there and Evander Holyfield was there. And like I had some gummies and like I was just like, my coach let me wear these like nice trunks. You know what I mean? Cause like that was the thing. Like we had like different like what I would say, incentives.
Yeah.
As far as like for fights, you know what I mean? Like until you prove yourself, you gotta fight in these yellow ugly trunks. And then once you prove yourself, you can fight in these nice joints. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And where it had got to that point where he was like, hey, you know what, Nando, you can go ahead and grab the Havocs. So I'm like, okay, solid. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, it's going down. And which, man, like that was my coming out fight. Like I believe that was when I had like first became open. And when you become open, that's when like after 16. It don't matter who you fight. Like you fight in your same weight class, but there's no age limit anymore, or experience limit. Like, you know what I mean? If you open, you fight anybody. And so that's where it was at. And where, oh man, like me and the guy, I can't remember his name, but we was rocking. Like, we were rocking. I had got him like a couple 8 counts. Then he hurt me, and then I got back right, came back, like, and then I ended up getting like fight of the night. And like, this is fight of the night in front of Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, in which man, like, I had gummies before that fight. Ever since then, bro, like, I gotta have some gummies. That's just me. Like, and it's funny because I don't even eat them. Like, sometimes you'll catch me with them like in camp and stuff, training, but I don't even eat them until like it's fight time.
So it's like just some special occasion type stuff.
Well, like, because before the fight, I'm on my diet, cutting weight, so I really can't.
So you can't,
right? But like, like, cause man, if like when I'm not getting ready for fight time, I always got them. I always got some.
What do you eat on a regular? During fight time and training.
Oh man, like, I make meal preps, so it's like a lot of grilled chicken, green vegetables, roasted potatoes, asparagus, broccoli, not much sodium really, cause I don't have a lot of fat.
Low carbs too.
Nah, really, I don't care about the carbs, honestly, because I need them. Yeah, I'm so small already. It be mainly the sodium, and because sodium holds water, and which come fight time, that's basically what we're doing is dehydrating ourselves. Basically turning the grape into a raisin. And so, I really do away with the sodium, a lot of water, you know what I mean? And I get down like that, a lot of fruit, fish, chicken, and
so what the gummies do to you before the fight, since it got a lot of sugar in it?
Bro, I think it just get me right, bro. Like, I love gummies, so like I'm not that fighter, like, I'm not that fighter that like be like in the corner mad sweating like man, I'd be happy like because this is what we've been looking forward to. Like, I've been spending all this time away from my family to come to this, you feel me? Like, oh bro, this 6 Flags, you feel me? Like, that's why if you see before fights, like when I walk to the ring, I got a big old smile on my face because like I'm waiting. It's like I'm finally about to get on this ride, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting in the front, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it is for me. So like with the gummies, I guess the gummies get me there, like, you know what I'm saying? Because yes, of course, it's serious business, man. Like, boxing is a sport that you gotta have a lot of respect for. You got
Bruh, so what you think happened when fighters lose their like thrill for boxing? Like, I don't know if you seen you was just talking about Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, he got a podcast called Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. And he was on there crying, talking about how like, I hate that person I used to be and now I'm just nothing or whatever. What you think like happens in those situations where fighters lose the thrill to fight?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was necessarily him losing the thrill of the fight as far as that, like, as far as him saying that he was nothing. Like, I mean, you got to remember, bro, like, this is something we've been doing since we were little kids, right? And where we've been crossed out for, like, a little bit of everything else, you know what I mean? Where he was getting so many type of, like, different type of problems as far as, like, juvenile, in which, like, this is where something that he was doing where he was celebrated upon, you know what I mean? Like, man, you know how good it feel when you in that ring and you win, like, first of all, hitting somebody, but then you win and, like, everybody just scream your name, bro. Everybody just screaming your name. Like, everybody just happy for you. Like, everybody's now your brother. Everybody's now your cousin. Everybody now knows you. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody went to elementary school with you. And which right there, that moment, bro, like, it's cool. I know these things and I'm aware of all of this, but it's cool. And like, some boxers live for that. Some, you know what I mean? Some boxers live for that. So you got to think about it. When we not getting that no more, when we not having that thrill no more, we not getting celebrated upon no more. It's like, yo, what am I here for? You know what I mean? Like, dang. So I like when he was saying those things, honestly, bro, I didn't even really want to watch it. Like, I didn't watch all of it. I watched a little clip of it because I know it was like 2+ hours, and which is something I eventually will watch. But like I know where he coming from because like that's how I feel when I can't train, when I can't fight, like when something's holding me back, something's deterring me. So I can definitely understand.
What about the part about the killer instinct?
You gotta have that killer instinct.
Nah, I mean, he was talking about how like I don't want to misquote him, but basically it's something like he felt like he was always a killer and that's what people want to see him do. So if it wasn't for boxing, then he'll just be on the street killing people.
And that's definitely possible. And the reason why is because, like I said, everybody was raised different. Everybody came into the sport different. Like Mike Tyson, man, this dude was 14, 15 years old, looking like a grown man, tearing stuff down, tearing everything down. You feel me? So it was like, yeah, like if Custom Model didn't take him up to Catskill, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? You feel me? Like, man, he was doing stuff like, man, they had to do stuff to him to like change his whole mental. Like, you know, Custom Model changed his mental to that type of like, you know, mental warfare, art of war type. Because like, man, you gotta go, like, you gotta be willing, you gotta be able to take yourself mentally to a different place in this sport, bro. You got to survive. You got to. If not, man, like, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you kind of determine who the ones that got it, who the ones who ain't got it. And so.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of UFC fighters, when they start losing it and they still fighting, they get hurt in the octagon. Bad, too.
Yeah, and it's just like in boxing. Like, since I fought in October, man, like 3 fighters in passed. And since I fought in Mexico in April, like 6 fighters in passed. So, I mean, like, yo, for people are dying in that ring. Like, it's real. It's real. Like, a lot of people don't think about the times when you got some of these fighters' parents, bro. Like, my dad see these articles and stuff, and he'll straight up forward them to me, like, hey, like, look at this. Like, how you think I feel knowing that my dad, like, how you think what I'm thinking that my dad's thinking, sending me this. You know what I mean? Like,
survival instincts start kicking in.
What, man? That's why it's like, yo, man, in boxing, we not in there to please the fans. Like, yes, ultimately the fans are paying and getting us in the seats and stuff, but I know as long as I keep getting W's, as long as I keep winning, I can provide for my family. Now, as long as I keep trying to entertain y'all, I may not be able to do that for long.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And that's the same thing with people talking about Floyd Mayweather. It's like, you're not supposed to want to get hit.
No. Like I said, learn how to swim and not get wet. Like, think about it, like this table being a square and you got another grown man in it. And for whole 3 minutes, you're able to be in this square and not let this man touch you at all.
Yeah.
Floyd would do things, like, people don't think of that. Like, that's what Floyd was doing. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he was touching you. He was touching you and touching you and touching you. You know, so it's...
They don't understand what kind of skill that takes.
Right. Exactly.
Because they don't understand boxing.
Right. And the only thing I feel like the only reason why a lot of people don't give Floyd that recognition or that give him that credit is because of his persona outside the ring.
The cockiness.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily the cockiness, because I mean, everybody have their own opinion, but it's just his persona as far as like his past. You know what I'm saying? Like what he does now with the money, what he did then with the money. You know, like just things like his life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
prime example.
I know what you're saying.
With Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson did a lot of the same stuff, worse. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So it's like just that persona. And I'm just saying, when I bring up Mike Tyson, I'm not saying now because everybody loves him now. He's a totally different guy. You know, he's in that different stage in his life where he's dropping jewels, and he's able to, like, go down memory lane, and he building off of it. That's what hot boxing is. You know, however, back then, with the Vanessa Williams trial and all that, he wasn't.
Which was unfortunate.
Right. A lot of people wasn't his favorite guy. And that's the same thing with Floyd. But that's why I said in the beginning, man, we are fighters. So with us being fighters, you can't have that expectation for us to be this great person either. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that every fighter got something super deep in them. That's why they want to fight. But
all those situations is sad because you never know what really happened. I'm not one of them people to just jump up and start judging and be like, oh, yeah, they definitely hit those women. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened. Right. So I can't cast no judgment.
Absolutely. And I mean, I look at it as like the news gives a lot of times give propaganda and also gives fact. Like, I honestly, like, That's why I be ignorant to a lot of news stuff, because I feel like they're only telling us what they want to tell us from the beginning. So why am I even gonna entertain this? And like, I feel like it's like a woman trying to figure out a woman.
That's one of my favorite topics because I
impossible.
know I don't know.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
I want somebody to tell me that they can figure out a woman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that they know all the answers. No, they don't, man. Come on. No, you don't. Like,
We don't even know what they want to eat tonight.
Exactly. Exactly. We don't know what they really wanted last night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that's the same way with like these like politics and like the stuff that they tell us. Like, you will hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. You will hurt yourself. And what you at that time, man, I'm so selfish sometimes with my mental like time. Like, I'm not about to think about that for too long. I'm not about to use that much energy on it for what? Like, that's how I feel about scary movies. That's why I'm watching. Like,
that's how I feel about conspiracy theories.
Why? For what?
And they so creative with it too. And I'm like, why you ain't take all that creativeness and put it towards something more positive?
Right. Because then honestly, I accepted the fact that it sounded good. That's just like that the conspiracy theory of Tupac still being alive in Cuba or something.
Yeah. It's
like, okay, that sounds good. And it was so funny because I heard an interview with Snoop Dogg when they asked him about it, in which it was the realest. He was like, because like they asked him about it, and they was like, what do you think about that he's still alive and that they're doing a show on this and all this? And he was like, because that's what it is. That's good TV.
Yeah,
like that's
it's entertainment.
You're gonna have a lot of people pay for it, and you know what I'm saying, or pay for the network, and they're gonna sit back and watch it and be looking forward to seeing every episode. When all of this is a complete conspiracy theory, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a theory. Like man, you know, I just feel like I ain't got time to be thinking about that stuff too hard. You know what I mean? But yeah. I feel like that's a perfect example of that right there.
I don't blame you because I'm not thinking about that neither, though. I'm trying to get these podcasts out. I know you trying to look forward to your next fight.
Yeah, solid. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, it's just like, even with like other fights, if I know I got a fight coming up, I don't even like to converse or talk about another fight afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so like
tunnel vision.
Yeah, I'm so tunnel vision and step by step. Whereas like I be sometimes I would say stubborn. You know what I mean? Because I be like, I'm not even. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go ahead and go talk to them. Like, if anything, I have my management. I go ahead and talk to them about that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right now, this is where I'm at. You know, that's just how I am, man. So.
That's good you got that team, though, so you can just focus on that.
Yeah.
Instead of having people trying to come directly to you.
Yeah, because once upon a time I had to. You know what I'm saying? Like, my original manager got me from 1-0 to 4. I mean, from 0 to 4-0. You feel me? Mm-hmm. In which he was, at the same time, he was teaching me the game. Like, he wasn't just doing it and keeping me in the dark. Like I'm so grateful for him. Like, it was times where, like, he was negotiating for me. I had to do conversations, and where he would have me on 3-way, in which sometimes the promoter or the matchmaker wouldn't have no clue that I'm on the phone. You feel me? And which it wasn't like we're doing anything like what I would say, trifling or anything.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, he was just teaching me the game. Like, he honestly was just having me on the line so he wouldn't have to repeat. You know what I mean? Which I respected that so much, because then it was never him having to tell me what they said. It was never, so what did they say again? It was, you heard what they said. You know what I'm saying? So, but look, this is what we got out of it. You know what I mean? Like, so this is what we got to do. And which that really taught me the ropes. And then, like, you know, after I was 4-0, I wasn't moving the way I wanted to be moved. You feel me? So I felt like I could pull the reins. And that's what I did. And which from 5-0 to 8-0, that's what I got myself that way as far as from the business tip. And as far as with that, I've learned, like, that's why I tell a lot of fighters who haven't had to do that before, like, yo, you better be grateful for what you got, because they're having to spend those hours on the phone, or like they have to spend those hours searching for opponents, or like searching for hotel rooms, flights that you ain't got to do. Like, they going through arguments and negotiations that you ain't got to even hear about.
So it's worth the money?
That's a good question, because sometimes it is, and then I mean, as far as like, it depends because it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? It depends on like how beneficial the management is doing for you. Like, what else are they doing? Because there's a lot of things that you could be doing for yourself. You know what I mean? And which that's why I've learned, you know, with my previous experiences before then, because you could be a signed fighter. I've been a signed fighter before I even turned pro. You know what I mean? But that didn't mean nothing. It didn't mean nothing at all. Like, it sound good, but it all depends on what's on that contract. But not only what's on that contract, because contracts aren't nothing but saying I promise to do this and you promise to do this.
Bruh, so how does a pro fighter make money?
Fighting.
Just straight like that.
Fighting, bro. Like, man, we don't have no NBA organization. We don't have no retirement organization. We barely got a Hall of Fame organization. You feel me? Where it's like, man, that's why you have to be smart. And like, that's one thing that like I like watched a lot of fighters like do. Like Ray taught me a lot. Like, getting real estate, you know what I'm saying? Building residual income, you know what I'm saying? Roy, you know what I'm saying? Like, being able to build different routes of income, you know, because yes, when you're not fighting, unless you got those options, unless you got those you know, opportunities, ain't no money coming.
What about sponsors? You get money off sponsors, right?
Yeah,
in boxing.
Yeah. I mean, because that's if you got a monetarily a sponsor, which are amazing, man. I love them. You know what I mean? Because they definitely help you, man. Like, help you be able to focus on boxing. You know, even though we boxers, we still got real life. You know, we still got bills. So, you know, those things got to be able to be taken care of so that we can focus on boxing. So, though they help tremendously, you know. A lot of times it just be wearing the logo, making a couple of posts social media wise. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't do all that opinion stuff. It's stuff that I'm on a contract for my social media. Like,
you got stuff to lose.
Man, I'm telling you, like, it was I had like issues with a relationship where it was like that, where you couldn't really understand that, and where it was like, you know, it was kind of hard, put me in a hard place, you know. But
what you mean, like, as far as like the person you was in a relationship with wanted you to post things about your relationship, like pictures or something?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would say that, like, more, doing that basically. Like, she felt hidden, and which that wasn't necessarily me trying to do that at all. It was just that I knew there was more people coming in as far as like in my social media, where like I wasn't looking for that type of
image.
Not necessarily the image, because I mean, I am a family man, you know.
Yeah.
I just don't like.
Image is a bad word.
What I would say, man, like, I just don't like. Like, man, you know, when you put so much of stuff out on social media, it give people like, it give people conformity, man. It give people like, people feel entitlement. People feel entitled that they can do certain things or say certain things, or, you know what I mean? And man, I just don't like that. Like, man, like, I don't know, like, I'm just not that guy. Like, I just like, I don't
Trust
know.
me, I know that.
And the bad thing about it, what makes me look bad, is because once upon a time I was, you know what I'm saying? But then as time goes by, like, because things change. You know, you got one thing like this, then eventually it changed. Like, I don't like social media being able to be the timeline for that. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
so this is when the breakup happened. This when that happened.
Right.
I told one of my homies that, bro.
Cause then it looks kind of bad sometimes. Cause then you can watch it outside looking in, like, and then it just be like, man.
You can see 4 boyfriends or girlfriends over a year span, and now people looking at you like, okay, I see what you got going on.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's just
I don't like that type stuff neither.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know if you go through this, but I go through this since I, post podcasts and stuff online. It's people that I see out that talk to me and swear they know everything about my life. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not putting everything about my life on no podcast.
Right, yeah. And that's real. That's definitely real. See, and I kind of get something opposite from that, which it just be motivation. Because, like, man, it's so funny because, like, TJ was just asking me about it the other day. Whereas a lot of times, like, even when I went to the fights in South Carolina, like, because now that, like, I've been getting somewhere in my career, you know what I mean? And then I have, like, known names behind me, like, a lot of people are like been, I got my own website, so a lot of people are able to go read my biography and like Google me, like kind of learn a lot about me. So it's a lot of times where I have people that have come up to me that I've never seen before, but embrace me so much, you know what I mean, and like talk to me as if they know me, in which it got to the point where I promise I'm not being fake because I feel like it's just all love. I'm so grateful that you even know those syllables, of my name. You know what I mean? So like it'd be funny because like they be like, hey, I'm like, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? And like after they leave, like my and like even my mom, my brother, they be like, did you know them? I'm like, nah, not at all. You know what I mean? But like it's cool because they would do that. But like they'll tell me like they'll be like, yo, Fernando, you come a long way. Like you're doing your thing. Continue to do it. Like I saw you go through hell this last fight, and you came back. Like you did something that a lot of people wouldn't be able to do. You know what I mean? And it felt good because then I don't have to say anything. I don't have to say anything but just look. In which like a lot of times I got my babies with me. You feel me? So then my baby, like my 8-year-old, like. She's so proud of her daddy, man. It's crazy. Like she called me, daddy. Daddy. You on Google. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. You know what I mean? And I know it's not bad stuff because I already look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, man, that's my motivation.
So you got to keep that clean.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah. Like that's my motivation. A lot of people don't even
understand that neither.
What, man? Because once upon a time when I did get in trouble, people was able to screenshot and send it to me. However, I done so much that you gotta. I don't even think they in 5, 6, 7. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. The pages is all the way down the line.
Exactly. But yeah, man, my babies, they really my whys. Ultimately, like, they my whys. Why I do this, you know what I mean? Like, why I keep going. So, yeah.
Yeah, bro. So, when's your next fight? I know it's coming up.
May 23rd. May 23rd is guaranteed. I just got the flyer. I'm gonna send it to you. I'll be the main event again. This will be my second. This will be my third main event, but second main event at home, in which I'm excited. I'm extremely excited. This will be the first fight as far as with Chris Rucker Productions, where it won't be at a high school, so we got a different venue, which is great, and I'm excited. It's going to be at the country club where Rod Wave is at tonight. Okay. So I haven't even announced it yet because everybody getting dressed. They getting ready to go see Rod Wave. Yeah. So I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I'm strategic sometimes with stuff like that. So I feel like I may hit him on hump day. You know what I'm saying? Or I may hit him when this drops. So that's really that's honestly like my way of thinking how to use social media.
Who's fighting in the undercard?
May 23rd, man, we got a good bit of people. I know Big Brandon's fighting. He's gonna have his rematch with Mary Coleman, Pink Panther. They're gonna do their thing. Actually, gonna be a title fight. I haven't announced it yet, but my fight may be a title fight as well. So I'm extremely excited about that. As far as with my team with Roy, we may bring like my teammates from with Roy up, and which is a lot of international fighters. We got Shady Gamora, he's out of Sweden. We got Luis Hernandez, he may come. And these people I'm not 100% sure, but they're my team, so most likely, yeah. Yeah. But Luis Hernandez, he's out of Mississippi, man. These are undefeated fighters that are doing their thing. We got Rashid. Rashid something. I can't remember how to say his name. He's from Russia. He's a bad boy. He's a heavyweight. So like yeah, we got we also got like Lester Brown. He fought on the last fight here. He's from Bahamas actually. So yeah, we got man. And then it's Augusta is filming with fighters as well. So we're gonna like that's what I'm big on, man. Like I'm literally skipping a fight because I'd rather come home. You feel me? Like yeah, I'd rather come home.
Bro, when you're in these local gyms and these younger kids are like asking you questions, what kind of advice do you give them?
Oh man, I tell them with these kids, man. For one, I tell you straight up, like if you don't want to do this, don't. If you don't want to do this, don't do it. Because ultimately, man, you're gonna waste your mom's money and you're gonna get yourself hurt. This is not something that you play. Yes, now it's something you could do recreation because that's what I got my babies doing, so that they know what they're doing at any time. You know what I mean? When daddy's not there. But that's first thing, man. There's nothing to play with at all. For two, man, you do not have to be the strongest, the fastest, the most swift, the lightest. You don't have to be that. You know what I mean? All you got to do is stay coming, stay working, stay down. Like, cause that's how it was for me. Like, I literally wasn't a favorite. Like, literally, like my coach literally, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these two are going here, you stay here. These two, I know they gonna ride or die. You, I don't know about you. Like, these are the type of things that stayed in my head till now. You know what I mean? Like, from little, my coach would tell me those type of things. I'm like, all right, I guarantee you I'm gonna prove you wrong. You know what I mean? Which it stuck with me. Like, it stuck with me. You know what I mean? Which I tell kids, like, man, I don't care what nobody tells you. Like, whatever you want to do, even if it's not boxing, like, just stay down, stay getting to it. Like, your opportunity gonna come, and just stay true to yourself. Like, you gotta stay true to yourself. Boxing, that's why I always say also, boxing tells the truth. This sport tells the truth. You may can get away with it in basketball, football, soccer. You may can get away with it because you got other people that can pull up your weight. But in boxing, yeah, you tell your coach that you've been running every day if you want to. Oh, he may be like, all right, and not even question it. And the reason why is because come fight time, I'm going to know for a fact if you've been running. I'm going to know. You feel me? So, like,
after you throw up round one.
Exactly. And so that's how it is. Like, yes, like I just say, yeah, be true to yourself because boxing going to tell the truth. It's going to tell the truth. And that's one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of, like social media, like, videos or, like, trying to portray something. Like, it's because like, people know I'm working. Like, if you don't know, you going to find out. But, like, everybody that knows me, they know I'm working. They know I'm grinding. Like, I don't have to do none of that.
But those videos you do post do be motivating, though.
Yeah, I
like,
try to.
When you be running the 5 miles.
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to see you because I think that was when the first time I had got back in shape. And I was like, man, he doing 5 miles. I know I can do at least 3.
Yeah. That's real. And you know what, man? My manager be on me about it. Like, he be like, yo, you need to do more. And then he'd tell me, like, don't put so much on your story. Put it on your timeline. And he been telling me that for a year. And I honestly have been trying. Like, I have. But I just...
It just ain't you, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, I just
everybody don't even got to be that person.
Right. Like, I feel like all my followers are going to come, they're like, from me doing what I do, from fighting. Yeah. Like, I can't expect for me to have 15 million followers, and I'm not fighting. And that's why I be like, yo, have me in the ring. You have me in the ring, everything going to come. And that's how I feel about that. So,
bro, one last question before we get out of here. Who's your favorite fighters right now?
Right now, right now, man, I really.
I know you probably like Crawford.
Yeah. I was actually like a couple of them. Like, I love Crawford, man. He got so many tools in his bag. It's crazy. So I mean, yeah, you got Terrence Crawford. I like him a lot. I like what's his name? Jorge Linares. Mm-hmm. I like him a lot because his boxing skills. I like
You watch a lot of boxing?
All the time.
Okay.
All the time. Like, that's what I'm saying as far as my favorites. Because, I mean, like Ray Vargas, Roy put me on Ray Vargas. He's like a super tall Mexican. He's a world champion. He's like at bantamweight, 119 pounds. So, like... That's
what I meant. Like, do you watch a lot of divisions, not just boxing? I know you watch boxing.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of divisions.
Just about everything, yeah.
Oh,
now, when I was younger, I really didn't, to be honest. I really did. I watched boxing, but I was always strict to my weight. Not necessarily my weight, but people that was around my weight. You know what I'm saying? Like lighter weight class that was throwing a lot of punches. I never, when I was younger, I didn't watch Roy Jones until like he was like having the big time fights and he was coming on. It wasn't somebody I was studying until I got older. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I started really educating myself on him. But yeah, man. Right now, it's a list. I mean, I like Crawford. I like Jorge Linares. I like it's a good bit of them, man. I mean, I like the Charlo brothers. You know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing.
Oh yeah.
I like. I'm an old school type guy. I like old school fighters. I mean, I like all the guys that's fighting right now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like the old school fighters.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you getting on the podcast. I told you I needed a good one. You definitely surpassed
Oh yeah,
what I thought it was gonna be.
Not a problem at all. I appreciate you having me, man.
Good luck at the fight, dog. I'm gonna pull up too because I want to see you fight.
Oh yeah, it's going down, man. It's going down. You can watch my last fight too on YouTube. My pops posted it. Just type in my name and then October 5th.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that tonight, then.
Yeah, man. You'll be able to see the highs and the lows. So it was good. It was a good fight. Yeah, it was real good.
Another episode of Sit Downs with Slim, and we out.
Already.